I woke up this morning and I had a thought, so I'm going to share it with you as a guyism. I don't understand the overuse of I'm sorry. And I'm talking about with younger children and adolescents mostly. Uh, when you see this behavior in adults, deal with it the way that you see fit. I don't know what to say about that. But when these young children and adolescents are saying I'm sorry and they don't really mean it, they're making those words meaningless because we all know that the best apology is changed behavior. Well, at least that's what I was taught. And I think that people think by saying I'm sorry, it negates anything that came before or neutralizes it at least. Something that they've said or done. But it doesn't, especially if you're saying I'm sorry to somebody who is able to read between the lines and realize that there was absolutely no sincerity in the apology. Some people have pretty sensitive bullshit detectors. And I think people who are bulldozers don't hang around a lot of people like that because nobody's stopping them in their tracks saying, I'm calling your bullshit on that. Well, saying I'm sorry ad nauseum eats away at a person's personal integrity and their reliability as well. I mean, how many times does somebody have to repeat something and say that they're sorry before they actually realize that it's something that they shouldn't say or do? How many times do you need to be told you're stupid? I mean, either you really just actually are stupid or you just don't care. And either way, it's irritating. So stop it. That's all I want to say to people. Okay, so first we have the irritating behavior, and then we have the stupid and meaningless apology. So this is one way, in my experience as a parent, a teacher, and just an observer of life, I see this disregard for meaningful apologies starting. I have, as I'm sure you all have as well, seen or experienced parents who witness their children doing something or think they witness their children doing something, that's wrong or they're hurting somebody, just not okay. So what do? They say, now, Joey, you need to say you're sorry. You can't just go off and whack people with a hockey stick. Go say you're sorry to Jimmy now. Well, the problem is that Joey isn't sorry, and that's okay, and Joey needs to know that it's okay. By making him say that he's sorry when he's not, we're training him to throw that meaningless apology out there when he does something that he has learned or has been conditioned to believe he should be sorry for, or that other people think that he should be sorry for. So, we'll continue on with Joey. He just keeps on with this assholery. And then I meet Joey as an adolescent or as an adult, and I say, hey, Joey, you're a real dick. Cut it out. That's kind of a slap in the face to Joey. So why isn't it okay to tell our children to say they're sorry? Well, there's a lot of research on it. And, most of mine is anecdotal, personal experience. Telling them to say they're sorry when they aren't is not teaching empathy. And I think that's what we're trying to do. It's teaching them to be insincere. And if that's what you want, then go ahead and do it. For the young ones, like under 6, empathy takes time and experience. And if Joey is truly not sorry, then we're teaching him to distrust his own feelings. We need to talk to him after the incident, not like right after the incident, but later that night or the next day, and say, hey, what were you feeling? Why did you decide to hit Jimmy with a hockey stick? And let him explain the best that he can. Ask him how he thinks Jimmy felt after he hit him with the hockey stick. And then go through the whole scenario. Sometimes when people do things to us, we think that we need to do something back to them. I get it. How did you feel after you hit him with the stick and he started to cry? I mean, just explore or reflect on the feelings with them. And we don't want to ignore their feelings, Joey's feelings in this particular scenario. We want them to acknowledge those as well as teach them that feelings are not wrong. It's how we express those feelings that can be very wrong sometimes. And then you can say, hey, listen, if you felt bad after you did that, hit Jimmy with the hockey stick, then you need to make it right with Jimmy. And one way of making it right is saying that you're sorry and meaning it. There are other ways too. We say to make amends. But when we get into adolescence, it's a totally different story. And saying I'm sorry becomes a manipulation in adolescence. Just a quick way out to move along so they can just ignore something. So you get to poke the bear, antagonize somebody and then say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's just bullshit with adolescents. And with an adolescent, you can call them out on their bullshit, and you should. And say, hey, if you want to be an asshole, just be an asshole. I mean, wave that asshole flag proudly. Don't passive aggressively say you're sorry when you're not. Because you may be fooling some of your friends now, but you're going to be hanging around some smarter people someday, I hope. And they're not going to go for it. And they're either going to punch you in the face or ostracize you. And either of those is not a happy ending. So say what you mean and mean what you say. But what the hell do I know? That's the way I see it, and I'm sticking to it.